Like I'm 27 years old. I've been in the game fighting actively nonstop for 9 years straight. This is gonna be my 18th appearance on the big stage, and I've matured as a person and a fighter over these years. I'm a father now. I'm comfortable with who I am, and not that I never believed in myself before, but now I know. I know.
Was there anything in the Conor fight or after the Conor fight that helped make you turn a corner, or has this all been weight class driven?
No, it's maturity and of course being able to eat more calories throughout camp and recover better. And still, this is still not an easy cut, man. But that played some part of it. But more just maturity, man. I used to overthink a lot, and in that Conor fight with the mental warfare that kind of went on, it made me think more. I've always been care. It sounds like a cliche, but care too much about this. And as I'm getting older, I realize that fighting is my life, but I'm not all the way in like I was before. I was lost in it. Now it's part of my life now. I'm a father and a son and a husband, and this is part of who I am. It's not who I am, so that helps me.
Being here over here the first time on the Valley, the UFC, how do you feel being the main car of the night?
Being the main event anywhere is great. Everybody's been super supportive here in the Valley. Very kind, nice town. It's actually a good change of pace for me. My last few fights have been in Vegas and LA, big cities where the glitz and the glamour, lights are flashing, bells are going off all day. It's nice to hit a normal town and have some relaxation and calm air.
The last time you were in a main event was the zombie fight, right?
Yeah.
Which was a fantastic fight, but not one that went your way. Since then, how much have you been kind of itching to be able to be the main event again?
That was almost 5 years ago,
Yeah,
I believe.
it's been a while.
I was a young man, and I had a main event scheduled with Joseph Duffy. He pulled out 2 days before the fight. We rescheduled it. I whipped his ass. But it's good to be back in the spotlight.
Dustin, does the move to lightweight change the way you approach a fight or how you train running up to it versus before?
It doesn't change so much the way I guess it kind of does. Before I would be in the gym, a couple workouts of the week would just be to burn calories. Now they're technical, workouts. I'm focusing on the task and getting better technically. And yeah, it's helping. And it's helping my recovery. I feel great during camps. I used to dread camps, man. I would cut 40 pounds over a 8 or 10 week camp.
Break him down a little bit for us as an opponent and kind of what he brings to the table.
He's a volume fighter, throws a lot of punches and moves a lot, uses a lot of footwork. But I don't think he's great anywhere. He's average everywhere, and I'm going to break his will.
He seemed to think that, without question, he's your biggest opponent yet since you've moved back up. Would you agree with that assessment?
I feel like Duffy would whip his ass. Bobby Green would give him a hell of a fight. Diego Ferreira would probably beat him. So I think is he drunk?
Basically just about everybody
Yeah.
we fought since moving up.
Right. Yancey might beat him, give him a fight of the night for sure. So whatever he got to do to get his head right, he better be ready.
Dustin, I said this before, and I'm not saying that because you're here. I say that you're probably one of the best strikers in the UFC. The way you punch, you stand in southpaw position. You're really a southpaw, and you throw a nice straight left, and it lands perfect. That's what you did to Carlos Diego and connected him and rocked him. I did see your opponent. He's standing in southpaw position, but I don't see him that dominant. What can we expect? Are you going to be able to land that straight left hand?
If I was fighting a righty, it would be there a lot cleaner, but it'll be there all night. He moves a lot, and he kind of almost moves too much, where he gets himself in trouble, crosses his feet a lot. I'm gonna smash his legs. He oversteps himself, gets out of position. So.
And seeing you doing the hand pads, man, it looks spectacular. I've seen a lot of people, and then coming from an MMA aspect, your punches were nice, clean, crispy, and you were setting up for either for a takedown or either or. Your footwork looked on point.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna hit him with a crispy 2-piece. There won't be room for a biscuit. I promise.
Dustin, how has being a father impacted your approach to this fight, if in any way?
Fatherhood. I've only been a father 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks now. My daughter's gonna be a month old fight night. And I'm fighting for someone else now. I've always been selfish. My drive has always been to be the champion and be the best I can be. But everybody told me it's going to change your life. I was kind of like, oh yeah, you're supposed to say that. Everybody says that. But as soon as I saw her face when she was born last month, it was something special, something magical. And people explaining it to me doesn't even nearly do it justice. It's an amazing feeling, and I'm fighting for her future, my future as well, my wife's future. I have a family now. And I said it in my last fight, I have mouths to feed, and that's a true statement. And I won't be denied. Also, being a father is teaching me patience. I don't know if that was a virtue I might not have had before. Always rushing and trying to hurt these guys and get them out of there as quick as possible, rushing in the fights. But now I need to think about the total picture, fight and general life in general. So I'm making better decisions now.
Has such a huge life event like that changed the way you approach these 3 weeks since she was born in terms of getting ready for the fight?
I had to sleep with earplugs in. Other than that, man, I'm just more focused than ever. You know, she's depending on me. So that's it, bottom line.
Were they able to come down here and be a part of the fight week?
No, she's too young. I don't want my wife to travel with her, and you know, she's 3 weeks old. She's not even vaccinated yet. I don't want her to be in airports and different climates just yet. But I got 33 or 34 fights. My wife's been with me most of them. She used to drive me to weigh. We used to share a car. She would drive me to weigh-ins, wherever city I was fighting in, and we'd share a hotel together, and just me and her, and I'd go fight, you know, and she's always here with me.
Speaking of family, you know, you being from Louisiana, you know, friends and family being so close, being our next door neighbor, or anybody coming down to see you out here?
I got my mother's actually coming next week to see my daughter and to spend a week in Florida with me. So she won't be able to make it, but my mother-in-law is coming down. My old coach, Tim Crater, Crazy Tim. He's going to be, he's going to fight Bill. He's going to be in attendance, and a couple friends, but no more than a handful of people.
With the names above you in the rankings, there's not necessarily a lot of room for you to move up without fighting one of those guys. Do you pay attention to that kind of stuff at this point, or is sort of the new Dustin just kind of takes things as they come and doesn't look at that?
I used to be the guy who clicked on every interview I saw. If I would have seen Michael Johnson said a few years ago, if I would be on the internet and see Michael Johnson said Dustin Poirier is this and this, I would have clicked on it and started reading and said, oh, this guy, you know. But now I just scroll right past it. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm capable of. I train with the best guys in the world. He can't be doing anything different than we're doing in my gym. And mentally, I'm strong. Physically, body strong. And I'm destined and determined, man. And the rankings above me don't matter. The rankings kind of are funny to me sometimes. They don't make a whole lot of sense sometimes. And fight math doesn't work. Number 10 doesn't guarantee to beat number 1. You know how that goes.
What kind of fight are you looking for if you can get through this one in a quick fashion the way you've gotten through 3 of the last 4?
You know, like I said, this is 25 minutes. I'm not going to put myself in a bad position or in danger trying to finish him early. But he makes enough mistakes over 25 minutes. I believe the finish will present itself. But I want the belt after this. I want Eddie. I'm going to finish the minutes, and then I'm ready for Eddie.
Yeah, if Conor takes the belt from Eddie, I mean, rumor has it, you know, they're going to be fighting.
Well, beautiful. How about a Cinderella story? How good can they sell the shit out of that, huh?
How do you feel matching up against Conor at 155 now that you put a little bit more weight on, you got more muscle?
I feel great. He's beatable. You know, obviously, he's been beaten, and he's been submitted a few times in his career. And, you know, I'm getting better every day as well. So, let's go.
Big fight next week in Brazil with Cyborg. Just like massive favorite. How would you beat Cyborg if you were fighting her? I mean, not you, but how would you approach a fight with her tactically?
I'm not sure of her opponent or what she's capable of or her fighting style, but I would try to be smart. I mean, we've seen her get her butt whipped in kickboxing, right? Maybe try to mimic that footwork and that long distance with kicks and stay on the outside. Don't make it a dogfight. But who knows, man? She's a beast.
Now, the Black Zillions, you know, American Top Team, that great rivalry. Are you taking that in the cage there with you as well?
No, this is about me and my family. It has nothing to do with American Top Team or Black Zillions. This is me versus Michael Johnson.